Now in this video we're going to use a PHP library called Faker, which fakes data for us. So in this case we're going to create a load of fake users so we can practice managing them through our admin panel. We're going to be using Faker through Laravel model factories. So let's open up our model factory. So when we created the auth scaffold, Laravel created a user factory for us. So if we come under database, factories, user factory, and we can see Laravel's created this for us. So what it does, it defines a new user, and it passes in the Faker library, and then it creates a new user. So it uses Faker's name and a unique email address. So if we run this now, this will just create a user, but this won't attach any roles to it, which is no good for our system. So the Laravel model factories come with another method called after creating. So we're going to use that. So let's grab our factory, and we're going to call that after creating method, and that just takes in our user class and then a closure like above, and we need to pass in newly created user, and we also need to pass in Faker. And then inside of this closure we need to get our roles. So let's create a new roles variable, and we're going to use our role model, and we're going to get the roles where the role name is equal to user, and we're going to get them. So now we have the roles where the name is equal to user, and we need to attach them to the above created user. So this is the same as we did in our update method. So if we get that user, and then we'll call our roles method that we created on our user model, which is a belongs to many relationship. And then just like in our update method, we can call sync. And remember, sync requires an array of IDs that you want to sync to this user. So with our roles, we're going to pluck out of the object the IDs, and then we're going to convert those IDs to an array. So now sync has an array of the roles from the above query. So what's going to happen now when this factory is called, it's going to create a new user, and then it's going to call the after creating method. We're going to get our role, and we're going to sync it or attach it to our user. So there's two ways of running this. We can either do it through Tinker, or we can add it into our seed, and I'm going to show you both ways. So the first way, we're going to use Tinker. So we just run php artisan tinker, and then we just need to load in our factory. So we can do factory, we want to get app user class, and we're going to run this 5 times, and we're going to call the create method. Let's hit enter on that. You can see now it's created us 5 users with random usernames and email addresses. So let's give our application a refresh, and you can see now we have our 5 fake users and their roles. Now we can delete these or edit them just like any other user that has been manually created. So we can give them a role of author as well, an update, and you see it's all fully working, and we can also delete them. So let's show us how we can actually use this in the database seed. So if we come over to our database folder, seeds, users table, and we can call our factory from within the seed. The first thing we want to do though is we want to truncate the role underscore user table. Otherwise, every time this seeder runs, these 3 users are going to have their roles duplicated. So after we've truncated the user table, let's call db table, and we want to call the role underscore user table, and we want to call the truncate method on that table. Down here, after we attach the roles to our 3 above users here, we can call our model factory. So to do this, we just call factory, and just like in PHP Artisan Tinker, we pass it app user class, and let's run this one 50 times this time instead of 5. And then we're going to call the create method. So let's now run this seed. So if we come over to terminal, we'll just X out of Tinker, and we run php artisan db :seed. So that runs the roles seeder and our user seeder. So if we just refresh our application again, you can now see it's created us 50 fake users. So this highlights a little bit of an issue with the application at the moment, is we need to add in some pagination. So let's do that in the next video.